Commander Zixthar clicked his mandibles in satisfaction as his fleet of 47 warships completed their encirclement of the solitary human vessel. The small craft hung in the void like a metal insect caught in a web, its running lights blinking with what the Krell commander interpreted as distress. "Vessel of the Terran Alliance," Zixthar transmitted across all frequencies, his translator rendering his chittering speech into flat, emotionless standard. "You have violated Krell sovereign space. Surrender your ship and prepare to be boarded or be destroyed." The human ship, barely larger than a Krell patrol corvette, made no move to flee. Its name, Disproportionate Response, was stenciled along its hull in the peculiar angular script humans favored. Zixthar had studied human culture during his training at the War Academy. He knew they often gave their vessels whimsical or threatening names. This one seemed to promise violence. How quaint, he thought. How desperate. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Terran vessel Disproportionate Response." A female voice crackled through the comm system. "Commander, I strongly advise you to reconsider your current course of action." Zixthar's thorax vibrated with amusement. The audacity, a single ship surrounded by nearly 50 warships, and the human dared to issue warnings. The Krell had conquered 17 star systems through superior numbers and coordination. Their swarm tactics were legendary. No species had ever withstood a full Krell battle formation. "You are in no position to advise anything, human," Zixthar replied. "Power down your engines and—" "Commander," his tactical officer interrupted, antennae quivering with confusion. "The human vessel's power signature is increasing, dramatically." Zixthar's compound eyes focused on the tactical display. The small human ship was indeed lighting up like a star-going nova. Energy readings spiked across every spectrum. Weapon ports that hadn't been visible before were opening along the hull like flowering petals revealing thorns. "Captain Chen," Zixthar said slowly, "what is your ship's classification?" There was a pause. When the human woman spoke again, there was something in her voice that made Zixthar's instincts scream danger, a sound that evolution had burned into every prey species across the galaxy. It was amusement. "Well, Commander, that's an interesting question. See, the Disproportionate Response isn't a patrol ship. She's not a courier. She's not even a destroyer." Another pause. "She's what humans call a Q-ship. Ever heard of those?" Zixthar had not. His claws moved frantically across his console, pulling up the human cultural database. Q-ships, historical Earth naval warfare, merchant vessels disguised as easy prey, hiding overwhelming firepower to ambush raiders and pirates. His hemolymph ran cold. "Captain Chen, there are 47 Krell warships surrounding you. Even if you are military, you cannot—" 47? Chen's laugh was sharp. "Commander, I appreciate the intel." "Computer, designate all 47 hostile contacts. Authorization Chen Delta 97. Release all safeties. Ladies and gentlemen, we are weapons free." The human ship's hull seemed to peel apart. What had appeared to be cargo sections and structural components folded outward, revealing batteries of weapons that should not have been able to fit inside a vessel that size. Missile tubes, rail cannons, plasma projectors, and weapons the Krell database couldn't even identify, bristled from every surface. "All ships, attack formation Gamma!" Zixthar screeched. "Fire at will." 47 Krell warships opened fire simultaneously. Space lit up with energy beams, kinetic rounds, and explosive munitions. Enough firepower to vaporize a small moon converged on the human vessel. And the Disproportionate Response vanished. Not destroyed, vanished. The ship's form blurred, fragmented into a dozen phantom images. The Krell weapons passed through empty space while the actual vessel moved with impossible speed and precision. Human point defense systems activated, creating a sphere of destruction around the ship. Incoming fire was intercepted, deflected, or simply absorbed by shielding that shouldn't exist on a craft that size. Then the Disproportionate Response began to return fire. The first Krell cruiser died in silence, cut in half by a rail cannon round moving at a significant fraction of light speed. The second exploded as missiles, each one apparently carrying a small fusion warhead, overwhelmed its shields. The third, fourth, and fifth vanished in a coordinated strike from weapons that seemed to bend space itself. "Evasive maneuvers," Zixthar commanded, but his fleet was designed for swarm tactics for overwhelming larger vessels through coordination. They had never trained to fight something small, fast, and carrying the firepower of an entire battle group. The human ship moved through his formation like a predator among prey. It didn't just shoot. It calculated, prioritized, executed. Ships trying to flee found themselves targeted first. Vessels attempting to coordinate found their communications jammed by electronic warfare suites that shouldn't exist. Every Krell advantage, numbers, experience, formation discipline meant nothing. In 7 minutes, 32 Krell warships were destroyed or disabled. All ships retreat, Zixthar finally ordered, his pride shattered. Jump to hyperspace. Scatter. Negative, Commander. Captain Chen's voice cut through his command channel. I'm not done teaching this lesson. The disproportionate response deployed something new. A pulsing field that locked down hyperspace in a sphere 10,000 kilometers wide. The remaining Krell ships were trapped. You wanted to know about overkill, Commander? Chen continued. It's a human concept. It means using more force than necessary. Way more. See, we learned something important in our history. When someone threatens you, when they think they've got you cornered, you don't just fight back. You make sure they never, ever make that mistake again. The human ship positioned itself equidistant from all remaining Krell vessels. New weapons deployed. Massive, slow-charging devices that made the previous armaments look like toys. This is your one chance, Commander. Surrender your fleet. Now. Zixthar looked at his tactical display. 15 ships left. His flagship was damaged. His crew was terrified, and that single human vessel sat there like a star of death, its weapons fully charged and ready. He made the only logical choice. We surrender. Smart. The weapons powered down but didn't retract. Now, Commander, you're going to take a message back to your Krell High Command. Tell them that this was just one ship. One relatively small ship. Tell them that humans build things like this not for war, but for the aftermath of war. For the peace. Tell them what overkill means in Terran. Zixthar's mandibles trembled. What? What should I tell them it means? Captain Chen's voice was ice and iron. It means we win so decisively that no one ever wants a rematch. 3 weeks later, the Krell High Command received a formal diplomatic request from the Terran Alliance for a non-aggression pact and trade negotiations. The proposal was accepted within hours. Commander Zixthar, meanwhile, had been reassigned to the Krell Cultural Exchange Program. His first assignment was to create a comprehensive database entry on human military philosophy. The entry's first line read, "Never corner a human, and if you must, pray they believe in proportional response because they rarely do."